Bill Maher. So we're in such a legendary era of dick riding. You know what I mean? We're in such a legendary era of dick riding. I think this is probably dick riding's best era.
Higher Learning's Van Lathan is going to lay into this guy, host of The Right Time, Bill Maher.
This is one of the biggest glazing sessions I've ever seen. 2025 has started off with huge glazing because of Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. But it needed someone to go overboard. This is not about having conversations with the other side. This is about how you have a conversation with power and how you relay that conversation with power to people. Mm-hmm. Power needs to be accountable. Mm-hmm. And power has to be accountable because power influences your life. And in that, Bill Maher.
This show is so out of touch, I'm surprised they haven't rebranded to Centrism Central, because it just speaks to Maher's loyalists who hoot and holler at every D+ line he spews.
Bill Maher and Donald Trump got along. What a shocker. The thing that Bill Maher might not understand, that I understand, is that Bill Maher has way more in common with Donald Trump than he does with me or a lot of other people who used to watch the show for a long time. You mean to tell me two rich, white, Ivy League educated atheists from New York had a great time together? Of course they had a great time together.
Sure.
Bill Maher is one step away from being the Donald Trump at any point. I would argue that the last couple of years, some of the criticisms made of Maher have pushed him further to
the right,
adopting and inculcating this sort of power because he's coming back to the core of who he is.
This is exactly the point. Maher used the N-word in an exchange with former Nebraska Senator and former University of Florida President Ben Sasse. When he said, quote, "We'd love to have you work in the fields with us," Maher responded, "Work in the fields? Senator, I'm a house N-word." Chicago's own Chance the Rapper would tweet after the exchange, "Please, HBO, do not air another episode of Real Time with Bill Maher." Well, it kept on.
Why is Islam the one religion about which so many in America and the West censor themselves when it comes to talking about or making fun of? Is it just fear?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because they're violent, because they threaten us, and they are threatening. They bring that desert stuff to our world. I said the same thing Friday night. You know, we don't threaten each other. We sue each other. That's the sign of civilized people.
Maher would continue in a piece put together by Alternet. He would justify excluding Syrian refugees from the West because, quote, "their cultures are not like ours." He'd also claim, quote, "if Muslim men could get laid more, we wouldn't have this problem."
They will say, look, Islam is a religion of peace. Do you buy that?
Yeah, they blow you up. There's a PC over there. There's a PC over there. There's a PC over there.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you. When 14-year-old Ahmed Muhammad brought a homemade clock to school, Maher stated, "Look, this kid deserves an apology, no doubt about it. They were wrong. But can we have a little perspective about this? Did the teacher really do the wrong thing? Because for the last 30 years, it's been one culture that has been blowing blank up over and over again."
What she wants to drive. They want the best part of America, the modernity. They want all the good stuff. They want to have a cell phone to call to say, "Hey guys, come over to the beheading."
This was Maher speaking of a Muslim American. Of note, of course, he has increasingly attacked critical race theory and gender-affirming care for children. Nowadays, viewers are more likely to find his views in the opinion shows of Fox News than mainstream discussion. Not to mention, Maher invited former Breitbart editor and Kanye chief of staff, Milo Yiannopoulos, where they got along famously. a few of his hits calling trans people mentally ill and using the R slur. He claimed feminism is a bowel cancer and stated there is only one place for lesbians: porn. He's been kicked off Twitter, appeared to defend pedos, and has used Nazism in social media posts.
Yeah, I saw the clip of you on Bill Maher. I'm not a big fan of Bill Maher.
Oh, yeah, no. He's undercover, right-wing, racist. What was funny is the comedian dude.
Harlan Williams.
Yeah, he, during the commercial, he was like, man, I really agree with everything you're saying. They just told me I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be the funny one and, make fun of you to keep it light so people will watch more,
That's crazy.
However one feels about him, and I certainly do feel some type of way, Adam Kinzinger would post on Threads. I have a friend that guarded Saddam Hussein after his capture. He said he was quite nice and friendly. Reminds me of Bill Maher's meeting with Trump. Being nice doesn't mean you aren't a bad man.
He was duped. He was conned. And it's sad in a way to me. You know what the saddest thing about being an unattractive man is?
Tell me.
That you don't know when someone's trying to. He fell for every bit of glamoring that Donald Trump threw his way. What he gave to Bill Maher was something that Bill Maher desperately wants. He gave him his whiteness back. He dug it because he could say things and not be checked for them, right? He enjoys a social order where no one checks his work. No one checks his work. Nobody. Even though he's making a living injecting his opinion about people's lives into the world, he wants that to be met with absolutely no pushback. He doesn't want to hear from the people whose lives are being affected. That is whiteness as a power construct.
Subscribe to Higher Learning on YouTube and check them out on Spotify.
Everyone whose job it is to launder the reputation of all of these incredibly dangerous, powerful individuals, save it. Save it. We don't care about how nice they are at tea time.
Right.
We don't care about how nice they are at dinner. We don't care how easy they are to talk to. We care about dead children, Black people eating, our brothers and sisters in the LGBT plus community running scared for their lives, our women's maternal mortality, our women's earning potential in the market, our representation and safety in the country that we built. And other than that, we don't give a how much y'all like each other. We just don't care. So have your dinner. Go do your thing. Have fun with President Trump. Go be his friend. Go be his pal. But leave us the out of it. Don't come back and tell us what a nice guy is. We don't care.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.